most ridiculous rule your parents ever had? When I was a kid, my dad had one rule about the thermostat. You were not allowed to touch it, ever. It didn't matter if you were freezing, sweating, or actively turning into a popsicle. Put on a sweater, he'd say in winter. Drink some water, he'd say in summer. Meanwhile, the thermostat sat on the wall like a sacred artifact no mortal hands could disturb. The rule was so intense that he actually taped a piece of paper over it with the words, "Do not touch," written in permanent marker, as if the thermostat was some kind of nuclear launch button. One summer, it got so bad that my brother and I were laying on the living room floor like dying fish. It was over 100 degrees outside. My friend came over and casually said, "Dude, why don't you just turn the AC on?" Like it was that simple. We explained the rule like it was the law of gravity. You can't fight it. You can't even question it. My friend just stared at us like we had grown extra heads. That night, desperate, we came up with a plan. We stacked 2 chairs, climbed up, and adjusted the thermostat exactly 1 degree cooler. Just enough to maybe survive the night without dying. The next morning, my dad walked into the kitchen, sniffed the air like a bloodhound, and narrowed his eyes. "Who touched it?" he asked. We froze. My brother immediately cracked and confessed everything. Dad walked over, peeled off the paper sign, and stared at it for a second. Then he sighed and said, "You know, I don't even remember why I made that rule." Turns out the thermostat had been broken when we first moved in years ago, and he was just paranoid about it ever since. We'd been living in self-imposed climate torture for absolutely no